Hey, what's up, sports bettors? Matt Modi with OddsJam, and we have a decent slate of MLB games tomorrow. We have a pretty good slate, so what I'm going to do in this video, just come out with my MLB best bets for tomorrow. Of course, every bet that I do find using the OddsJam positive EV page. I have everything filtered. League equals MLB. I don't need to mess with the date range. Max market width 25. And we're good to go. So as you can see, there's only one play available for tomorrow, but it is one that I do like. I did some research onto this one. I do think it is a pretty good bet. A lot of our picks, so what you see here on the YouTube channel are our free picks, which goes in the free picks section of the Discord. We do have some paid picks as well. So basically the logic being, we understand that not everybody necessarily has the time to do the research of that Alex and I and Randall do, who are the people posting in the expert picks, are able to have the time to do the research, to line shop and look at all the markets and stuff to find the most profitable bets. So what we ended up doing was creating this Discord so people could tail our best bets, and then they don't really need to put any thought into it. They can just tail it directly from there, and they're good to go. Everything is tracked in this profit sheet that you see in the Discord in the general. It's also in the description of the video, as is the Discord itself, the link to the Discord. We're down overall, but I will say that is almost all from a rough stretch here, starting from the 21st and the 22nd. So really, really rough stretch those 2 days. A little bit on the 23rd as well, actually, but since then, things have actually been going pretty well, and we had a pretty good day today. So these are all my picks from today. Alex hasn't updated his yet, but he also had a good day today. So I know that we'll be positive for the 31st, and we'll be close to having this units one be positive. So I definitely recommend checking out the Discord. We can all start cashing together. But for tomorrow, I do have a play that I really, really like here. Again, what we're looking at, Rangers versus Orioles. This is the first half under 3.5. Pretty heavily juiced at plus 142 odds, but I do think it's a good play. So to talk about the math for a little bit, it is positive expected value of like 1.7%. Obviously not a ton of EV here, but even these lower EV plays can still be really valuable. And we can see that just looking at a couple things. Number one, comparing across all the lines. So this is something that I do with every bet that I place. I look at where everything else is priced. And as we can see, every other book prices this line pretty decently below what FanDuel has. So FanDuel at plus 142, MGM plus 125, Tipico plus 122, the OddsJam line plus 130. All pretty decently below this FanDuel line. So that's a pretty good mark that this is a profitable bet. Another thing I like to look at are the market width. This one being at 20 is well within range. Market width is a way in which we can just measure confidence in what lines are being priced at. It just subtracts both sides of the OddsJam line. So the OddsJam line, as everybody knows, is pulled from the most accurate sportsbook in the world. And the closer these two lines are together, the more confident OddsJam is in what they're pricing their lines at. So market width of 20 is pretty good. Anything that is 25 and below, as I mentioned, is something that I like to look at. So all in all, this does check out from a math perspective. The Novig odds at plus 138 and the FanDuel odds at plus 142. That gap between the 138 and the 142, that is what has positive expected value. In this case, about just under 1.7%. One thing that I find fascinating about sports betting is all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So we can actually calculate what the win percentage is of the Novig odds of the OddsJam line. All you need to do is just click this calculator, and it tells you here. So this bet, if you place this bet 100 times, it'll win about 42. It's at about a 42% chance of hitting. And the FanDuel line of what we're betting it at, we can also calculate the win percentage of that by just going to calculators, odds converter calculator, and just typing in the line. So type in plus 142, has this win percentage of about 41.3%. So that gap, the 42 down to 41, is another way of viewing positive expected value. Basically, to think about this just from a math perspective, we're placing a bet that we think will hit 42% of the time, a little over 42% of the time. But at the odds that we're placing it at, it only needs to hit 41.3% of the time in order to be profitable. And that gap, again, is what has positive expected value associated with it. So from a couple different reasons, from a math perspective, from a discrepancy perspective, this bet makes sense. I also did a little bit of research, a little bit of handicapping into it just to kind of see what that looks like. So the first thing I look at is the pitching matchup. So Spencer Watkins, John Gray, two decent pitchers. None of them are great. Certainly not two aces, but not two horrible pitchers either. The next thing I wanted to look at is just like Nerfy stats. How often do these teams hit a run in the first inning? And the Orioles are I have the fourth most no-run first inning in the entire MLB. And the Rangers are about middle in the pack, but still heavily favor the no-run. So both these teams, at least for the first inning, looking at a no-run for that. And then I also looked at their stats for the first five. So MLB first 5 inning runs per game. The Rangers are top 10. They're ninth at 2.6 runs per game, which is pretty good. Baltimore is decently lower at 23 runs per game. So the odds being heavily juiced at plus 140 makes sense when you take into account everything. But just from the little handicapping I did and also the math, I do think this one is worth taking. So it's just a small 1 unit play for me. So just going to go to the first half total runs under 3.5 plus 142, one small 1 unit $50 play, place bet, and we are good to go. So this is my official MLB betting pick for tomorrow. Orioles, Rangers, under 3.5 total runs. If you have any questions, let me know. Would love to hear if you're tailing. Love to hear all that stuff, but that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.